One of the items I create a lot of on my channel are garlands, and I do a lot of wood bead garlands. So I wanted to switch it up and give you guys another option for a garland you could create for your home. So we're gonna be making a clay garland. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna purchase a clay. I really like this Crayola one. I get it in the color white off of Amazon. I'll link it for you below. But essentially you're going to need 3 packages for this. So just one of the containers you buy off of Amazon will be plenty. I think 4 bags come in 1 container. So I'm going to start by creating 1-inch balls for all of the garland. Then I went and grabbed some skewers. These were ones that I picked up from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to take them and press the skewer through the middle of my clay ball. Then I will just leave it on there. I'm gonna twist the skewer in it a little bit just to make sure when I go back through with my twine, I'll be able to do that easily. So you're gonna repeat this several times until you have the desired amount you're going for.
Without regrets, girl, put your faith in me, even though we just met. Let's forget about our curfew, cause all that is stuck in my head. It's me and you, both speeding, my heart is racing, but I'm not sure I want.
Next up is painting. So once everything has a chance to dry, you're gonna come back in and paint. I chose 4 of the different colors that I had picked out for this look. So I'm gonna paint 2 coats of paint. Now I want this to be kind of rustic, so I was okay if the paint wasn't perfect on this. This is kind of personal preference here, so if you want it to be more finished, maybe, make sure you do other coats. Now it's great painting them on these skewers because then you can just put them on something to dry, and I'll let them dry completely.
Sure I wanna face it, cause it only does this with you. Our bodies meet, I can feel the tension, move us into the next dimension. Let's just let our bodies be true. We make out for the thrill of it, mess around for the thrill of it. Don't stop now, never let this end. For the thrill of it, we can have it, no regret.
Next, I'm going to be using a pretty firm twine to put my garland on, and I'm simply going to string the different clay balls that I created onto the garland. Once I was doing this, I realized I didn't really like how the red balls were looking in this grouping. I decided I wanted to keep it more muted, so I simply just took them off and I used the 3 colors I had. Sometimes you just have to make adjustments when you see it all put together.
Live life without regrets, girl, put your faith in me, even though we just met. Let's forget about our curfew.
Now you could add tassels to the end. I decided not to do that, so I grabbed some of my thicker twine and I just tied it in a knot about 3 times at the end. I cut off any excess. Because I was going to be hiding the knots, I didn't really feel like I needed to do tassels, but you could always do tassels at the end. And this is how it looks styled on a table in my living room. So for our next project, we're gonna create perfect wall art for fall. Love the way this turned out. Now you're going to pick up 2 oval or circular frames for this. I had trouble finding any at Dollar Tree. I know they've had them in the past, but I ended up purchasing mine off of Amazon. I'll link the ones that I picked up down below. Next, I wanted to create a silhouette of a bird. So I went back in the Cricut design space and I typed in new project and I went in to look for, the best one that I could find. And this was kind of a fun process. Once I found the one that I wanted, I just brought it into the design space. And again, all you have to do is resize it. Super simple. Now I was going to be creating 2 of these, so I ended up duplicating it and then I sent it to print. And again, I'm going to cut it out on that black smart vinyl and you're just going to run it through your machine. Now I decided I wanted to place these birds on some scrapbook paper. I have a ton of scrapbook paper in my stash, so I just grabbed 2 colors that I thought would work great for this project. You could use any paper. You could also use fabric for this. I kind of thought about using fabric, and at the last minute I was like, no, I'm not gonna use fabric. But really, endless, you could use like old music notes. I thought that would be really cool as well. I did something similar to that last year, so I try to do new stuff for you guys, but there's really a lot of possibilities here. So I'm gonna trace around the scrapbooking paper, then you're gonna cut it out, and then I'm gonna eyeball the birds on there. You guys know that I don't do a lot of measuring, so I'm just gonna place them on there and try to get them about the same height. Then I'll put the scrapbook paper back into the frames. And here's how they look styled on my shelf. Whenever I create these Dollar Tree DIYs, they're actually like several days of working on these projects, just from coming up with the ideas, shopping for items, creating the items, doing the voiceover that I'm doing now. So it's actually quite a process. And there's always one project that really just kind of throws me off, or I just struggle with it. For this video, it was this macrame pumpkin. I was having trouble figuring out how to wrap the macrame on there. I really wanted it to be vertical and it just wasn't working out. So I think I figured out how to do it where it went around horizontally. So you guys will have to let me know what you think of this. So you're gonna grab just any pumpkin you have in your stash. Honestly, this was one that I had that was like leftover from last year. I'm gonna be using the same macrame cord that I use in a lot of my projects, a lot of my wall hangings, and I'll link it for you guys down below. But if you've done any of these similar projects, you probably have this on hand. And I'm gonna start at the base of the pumpkin, wrapping the macrame around, kind of like how I did with the nautical rope on the rope tray. You're just gonna start hot gluing and wrapping it around. I'm gonna keep hot gluing, not worrying if I get it down into the grooves of the pumpkin, because I found that it naturally just kind of laid down there as I was going. And the thing I'm gonna do at the end is gonna help that as well. So I'm gonna continue to wrap this around until I get to the top, and I'm gonna hot glue it in place. Next, I wanted to create vertical lines. So I grabbed that same nautical rope and I pulled apart 3 different strands from one piece of nautical rope. I'm gonna hot glue one edge of the string, wrap it around, and then hot glue it to the bottom. Now I did this with 3 strands so that I had 6 vertical stripes. To top it off, I like to use sticks at the top just to add that natural element. So I grabbed a stick from outside. Dollar Tree also has these available, so you can grab those as well. And I just hot glued it to the top. I think in the end, it turned out okay. It was not a fail, but it was a little tricky to figure out. Dollar Tree has been awesome lately with their frames. When I came across these 3 gold ones, I knew I had to pick them up. Now I love shadow frames like this because you can really do some simple projects or you can make them more personal. I wanted to do something for you guys that would be great for fall, so I grabbed some different garlands that they had at Dollar Tree in different fall colors. From there, I'm gonna take off the back glass piece and I'm gonna pull the cardboard off. Now underneath the cardboard there was this little like sticky piece, and so that was actually all the glue that I needed to put the leaves on. Now I'm going to cut off 3 of the leaves that I think will be great displayed in these frames. So once I put the leaf on, I put it back into the frame. And I repeated this for the other 2 frames. And I think this display of 3 looks perfect on my shelf for fall. I think that I've really been into florals this fall. I have this one set of florals that I just love from Dollar Tree. I wish I would have picked up just a million of them because they're so nice and natural. So I just wanted to display these in my living room. So I grabbed a Dollar Tree vase. This is one they have at most stores, so hopefully you can find it. I'm simply going to grab some twine. I'm gonna hot glue my twine around the base of this glass jar. This is a really easy DIY that I like to do that I think just really gives something extra to your florals. It also covers up that bottom portion. When you put your florals into a clear vase, I don't necessarily like seeing them at the bottom. I think this kind of makes it look a little bit more finished, so that's why I like to do that. Next, I'm going to put the florals I grabbed at Dollar Tree into the vase, and I'll show you how I styled them in my living room. Hey guys, I'm Liz and you're watching my second DIY channel where I post daily DIY videos. You may be familiar with my main channel, Liz Fenwick DIY, but I'm glad that you found me over here on my second channel. Make sure that you're subscribed so you just get notified every day when I post our daily DIY video.